Hello and welcome into the RotoWire Esports Show. I am Andrew Laird, joined as always this week by DFS Chan. Chan, the slate this morning went just exactly how we thought it would, including your call that like T1 might be in trouble. Checking scores, I thought there was a mistake, but like you nailed it. Absolutely nailed that one.
Yeah, I did, except I got the EDG game being having the most kill upside wrong because it turns out that they were probably, I think that had the lowest number of kills total amongst all the four games. So, but you get some right and you get some wrong. So,
I mean, for those who, because we're talking about everybody's probably going to try to play RNG. If you played RNG and Red Force, that probably worked out pretty well. Sandbox, you were celebrating in our Discord after they won one of those games. Couldn't close it out, but would have been big.
Yeah. So Sandbox had it. I mean, they blew it, in my opinion. They totally had that series under lock in game 2, but I just think they blew it. And then, yeah, Nongshim, I was impressed by them, and I think Peanut, their jungler, recorded his 1,000th kill in his League of Legends career. So, and he's still a very good jungler, and he used to play for T1. And then I should have mentioned this last video, but he used to play for T1, and then their mid laner Gory used to play for T1. So, I mean, I think there was some revenge narrative maybe against his former team, but yeah, I mean, I wasn't too surprised, like I said, that T1 lost. They struggled a little bit in the last series. And then Genji, again, like I said, I think they're going to win the LCK Summer Split this year. I think in the first game, they struggled a lot, but they came back and won, the best of 3 series. And, more than not, in a best of 3, the better team wins. So that shows that Genji, is the marquee team in the LCK this year.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's jump into this Friday slate. We've got another 4-gamer. We've got Damwon as the biggest favorite over Hanwha Life. Top Esports, pretty big favorite over LGD. And then KT favored over DRX. And one of those slates where we get a Thunder Talk favorite. We don't see that very often, but I guess when you play Victory 5, you get to be a favorite. Do you think odds-wise, at least those all make sense?
I think so. I mean, I think the V5 versus Thunder Talk, I mean, that's another toilet bowl that I call it. It might be it's just the bottom 2 teams, duking out against each other. Literally, they have 0 win. I mean, 0 game win amongst those 2 teams. So, at least one of them will get a win after this series. But yeah, I mean, I like that. I know why TT is slightly favored because, Victory 5 is filled with rookies, and, it's a whole new team compared to Thunder Talk that has some continuity. And then for LGD versus Top, I mean, that's surprising to me because LGD is in such good form. I know that they have beat good teams this split, and then I know Top Esports, even though they had a decent series in the last series, they have been struggling a little bit with that new top laner, as mentioned before.
Yep.
And I need to point out for LGD, it looks like the new top laner for LGD is in Fearness and starting, and Garvey is out. So, that's a big change in my opinion for LGD because their top lane has struggled a lot with Garvey. But now that Fearness has shown, he subbed in the last series in game 2, I believe. And he played pretty well. So I think they like the way that they looked with Fearness and Top. So I think that I don't think LGD should be favored, but I think Top shouldn't be as big of a favorite against LGD. I guess that's my opinion.
Okay. No, that's let me see if I can get our confirmed stars in or not. I think that's a reasonable way to look at it. Do you think does that mean that people are going to end up looking towards LGD as kind of a popular underdog?
Right, exactly. I would, and then hold your nose and choose whichever side you want for V5 versus TT, because I think that's going to be another high kill game. just from the overall game standpoint. I think they're going to try to win team fights and win a game like that that way. So I think both LPL games have fast pace on the split compared to the LCK, which we'll talk about, I'm sure, in a little bit.
Yeah. Do you think there's just still some underlying, like everybody likes top, and so we'll see some more ownership than we should? Or do you think, I mean, bringing in the LCK game, like basically Damwon and top are the two biggest favorites, but we have more questions about top than we do about Damwon. So like, does the ownership go towards Damwon enough?
That's a very interesting question, only because both top and Damwon have questions surrounding them.
That's fair.
Yeah, and Damwon, as you know, they lost to freaking Fred at Breon in the last series, 2-1 with this new lineup with Marang at jungle. I have a feeling they might go back to Ghost lineup, the regular lineup with Ghost at AD carry against Hanwha here. But obviously that's not something that we can rely on, because it's also the second LCK game on the slate. And so we're not going to get the confirmed lineup for Damwon. But for top esports, yeah, I mean, we know at least who's going to start for them. And then even though I know Qingtian, I don't know how long he's going to last as the new top laner. I know they have 369. Who, we're familiar with from the last split. There's a chance that he might sub in for Qingtian. So, yeah, I mean, there's some substitution risk there. But in terms of the ownership, yeah, I mean, I think both Damwon and top will be popular. But, like I said, I would not play Damwon today, even though I think that matchup has a potentially high kill upside because they're playing against Hanwha, who likes to throw bodies at opponents in the split. So, but I think the ownership on top would probably be the highest, in my opinion, with that confirmed starters. But yeah, I think after that, I mean, I think it's going to be spread out amongst LPL, two bottom tier teams, and then LGD, and then Damwon. So I think those are probably my ownership predictions. Yeah,
it sounds like a fun GPP slate, if only because basically because the two teams that are the biggest favorites have like big question marks, and so from a leverage standpoint, like you always love to be able to get somebody that could take down a favorite, and not for nothing, like they score pretty well too, which only puts you like up on the screen here, like kills per game, LGD actually leads every team on the slate. So they could score huge if they do sweep top.
Yeah, LGD has been playing at such a high pace, so I love that matchup for either team. If I had to make a prediction, I would go LGD 2-1. I know that top esports has been in bad form. I know I'd like to pick a lot of underdogs, but it's early in the split still, and a lot of things can happen. And this patch and this meta has been very volatile. That's why we've seen a lot of upsets lately in the early part of the split. So, but yeah, LGD has been in good form. It's not like we're picking TT or V5 against top esports. So LGD is a solid team. But yeah, one other thing I'll mention about Damwon is that even if there are substitutions for Ghost at AD carry, that means Canyon will go to jungle and then Showmaker will go to mid. So, the only player that will be subbed out will be Marang. So, just keep that in mind when you are playing Damwon, with that potential substitution risk in mind.
I mean, that's like a great point because if you're playing Damwon, like you're going to want Canyon and Showmaker anyway, and the possibility that like a sub doesn't take them out, which is like it's the ideal sub situation. Obviously, you have to watch out for Malrang, but like you're not getting a 0 like you can on some other slates. So, do you think the KT series outscores the Thunder Talk one?
No.
Okay.
DRX has the slowest pace in all LPL and LCK teams. So DRX is dead last. So I think they're gonna, slow down the pace. try to win the game, from a, just macro game standpoint, not try to engage in team fights or anything like that. Even though on the other side of the matchup, KT has been playing pretty fast. Mm-hmm. Actually, KT has the fastest combined kills per minute amongst those 4 LCK teams on the slate, even over Hanwha, which is surprising. Wow.
Yeah.
So KT, I really like KT in this matchup. I know DRX has been, struggling a lot, and I'm just so shocked that KT is such a small favorite over DRX. So I like KT a lot in this spot, but I do think it's gonna be, it has a lower kill upside compared to the other 3 games on the slate.
Yeah, you pretty much need Thunder Talk Victory 5 to be such a boring, in and out that you can't. That's the only way that KT outscores. It's not like that game explodes. It's probably more that Thunder Talk and Victory 5 don't produce enough fantasy points.
Yeah, basically. I hope it doesn't turn out to be the EDG game that I recommended from this one.
So DRX is just off the slate for you?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. They, like I said, I think they're just not a good reason to play them from maybe ownership, but even then, I think even in their wins, very rare wins, they don't score well. I mean, like I said, they they play the slowest. So even if they win, they're not going to score well. So
right. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense for sure. So where, is the leverage just enough with LGD that we don't need to go anywhere else?
I think so, but if you want to play KT, hoping that, like you said, some of those matchups produce lower kills, then KT is definitely a good pick in my opinion, because I'm pretty sure that they're gonna win 2-0 in my opinion. But I think you kind of have to guess who's gonna win that V5 versus Thunder Talk matchup in my opinion. Because I think LGD and Top will probably, produce the most kills in my opinion, because they both play at such a high pace. And then V5 versus TT, I mean, like I said, it's going to be a clown fiesta where they're just going to go down the middle, ARAM mode, where they just go down the middle and duke it out, and, who comes out, alive at the end. So I like in that matchup. So yeah, if I were to make a prediction between those two, I like Thunder Talk. I think the consistency, they have more consistency in terms of synergy and team fights around objectives compared to Victory 5. I like Thunder Talk quite a bit there. But obviously Thunder Talk also makes tons of mistakes that I've seen so far, and that can open them up for some crucial game-changing mistakes as well. So but yeah, if I had to make a prediction right now, I would choose Thunder Talk. And then obviously, like I said, LGD, I think in an upset over Top Esports. And then I think Damwon should take care of business easily there, even regardless of what roster they play with, and then KT for sure.
Is Thunder Talk bad enough that if Victory 5 beats them, they're a really good scoring team? Or is Victory 5 not good enough to even take advantage of that?
Yeah, that's a good question, because Top Esports, LGD, and Thunder Talk, they all play pretty fast. And then Victory 5 does not play as fast, even though they do play faster than most LCK teams on the slate. So yeah, I mean, when those two bad teams play like this, I mean, just like in the last split, when let's say Rogue Warriors versus OMG play, I mean, they produced so many kills, back then. So I presume that it's going to happen again, and these, two bad teams, going against each other. So I like that kill upside for Victory 5. But yeah, I mean, I guess technically you could play two underdogs, V5 and LGD, and hoping that, if you do that and if they both win, I have a feeling that they're going to, be in the optimal lineup for sure.
Yeah, that could be a fun one. Are there any specific players that you think we should be targeting?
Yeah, I mean, let's see. I can go through the matchup by matchup. So KT, I like Blank. And I like Noah. Noah has been playing really well ever since Harp has been integrated into that team as the starting support next to him. So I like their jungler and their AD carry. Those are the two that I would focus for KT if you think that matchup will produce enough kills. And then for DRX, I think they're gonna lose. But if you were to take a chance with DRX, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any recommendations. All these guys, sorry. So, but Pyosik, maybe their jungler. I mean, he's been around for a long time and he's still on the roster for a reason.
I think the way you look at them is pick the other team that you're stacking them with, and then just use the extra spots for DRX.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I guess, another angle to look at for DRX is that Bao and Becca in the bottom lane are the liability for them. So Noah and Harp get an upgrade on the KT side, on the opposing side. So that's my DRX analysis. But yeah, and for Damwon, as you know, I mean, you guys know, Showmaker and Canyon are probably the two go-to guys in my opinion, for all the reasons that you guys already know about. They're the two playmakers for that team. And then Hanwha, if you want to take a chance with Hanwha, I mean, kudos to you. I think, I mean, they've just been in such bad form. But if you were to stack somebody from there, Chovy obviously, and then Arthur, and then maybe Dudu in the top lane, but he's going against Khan and Damwon. So I like Chovy and Arthur to play well there. And especially Chovy is going up against Canyon. If Canyon still starts at mid, I know he's been playing decent as the, integrated mid laner now. He used to be a jungler, and he's been, very impressive as a new mid laner for that team. But Chovy is a whole nother animal. And I mentioned this before on many other videos, but Chovy, in my opinion, is the best mid laner in the world. So I think Chovy might take advantage that Canyon is starting in mid if he does. So, okay. But for LPL, yeah, I mean, I can go real quick. Victory 5, I like. This is a tough one because they both suck. But Uniboy and PZX, I like them to score well here. And then YE, and then Xiaopeng. I know we mentioned that the other day. I like that jungler and mid laner position for either team. I know Sam B and Pudding. I don't even know if I actually. Maybe that's a new spot, a new support for Thunder Talk. Now I'll take a look at it. But anyway, I'll just take a look at what the RotoWire, opponent average says, and then, what kill participation percentage, these players have, and I'll just hold your nose and pick them based on that data. So that's what I would do for that matchup. And then for LGD, I mean, this is very clear for LGD that Shadow and ZA, they both carry that team so well. So, and I know they have a tough individual matchup against Karsa and Knight, but, I think LGD can pull this off. And if I were to focus 2 players on top esports who are the favorite, Knight has been lights out. Oh my goodness. I think he's been playing, as the best mid laner in China in LPL. So I would focus Knight for sure. And then Jackie Love hasn't been that impressive, kind of underwhelming. Yeah. So I would focus Knight and Karsa for that team.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, I think that's it. Cool. If you guys have enjoyed the video, if you could please hit the like button below. You can feel free to subscribe, to all of the RotoWire videos. Gets you notifications as well by hitting that bell button for any time there's a new video that is posted. We have new stuff coming up every day for obviously League of Legends, but also baseball, football, basketball, soccer. It's all there. So definitely check that out. If you're interested in these cheat sheets that we've been showing in the videos this week, you could go to rotowire.com/daily, and all of the esports ones are up there. They're also linked below in the description, so feel free to check that out. Those are for all of our subscribers. So if you are not a subscriber and want to try us out for free for 10 days, just go to rotowire.com/try. That's TRY. Like I said, 10 free days to the site actually gets you access to all the sports we cover, as well as our subscriber Discord chat, where Chan continues to drop some additional nuggets for these slates. So definitely check that out. Chan, thank you for that, and good luck on Friday.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Good luck.